Hey, this is Chatosaurus. You're not going to want to miss this iPhoneography episode on the Frame Network. Check it out. I think everything you do goes into goes into the mix of like your photography, like the things you're interested in, the kind of music you listen to. I mean, that's a huge impact on me. I think it's the kind of music I listen to, the kind of movies I like to watch, all have a strong influence probably on the type of photography I do, like kind of the aesthetic that I'm drawn to. I guess I'm a graphic designer by day and kind of a photographer all the other times. Got into photography several years ago in school, and I'd say probably about 2 years ago I got my first smartphone and downloaded Instagram and had it on there for about 3 months and never used it, never knew anything. I didn't even open my camera, I don't think, on it. I didn't know anything about it, so but I finally opened my camera up one day and I was like, whoa, this is awesome. I've got this awesome camera on my phone that I can carry around in my pocket, and it was just it changed everything. From that moment I was just taking pictures all the time with my camera on my phone, and it was just incredible that I had that, and it was really powerful. And the more I did it, the more stuff I learned, and then I finally was like, well, I want to share some of these photos around, so I was like, oh cool, Instagram, you can post your photos. I didn't even know that other people could see it. I don't think I didn't even know how it worked, and then I started putting pictures up on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that from my phone, and just got really excited about it. So
that's awesome.
But design, definitely, going through, I mean, that's what I graduated in school, is in graphic design, and all of that is just based on color and composition and communication and what you're able to do within kind of the square rectangle you're given kind of thing. So yeah, that totally plays a part in it. And then I think the outside photography as well, shooting film, having to deal with different colors and styles and learning film grains and the certain things you can do within the camera to achieve certain effects, as far as your exposures go and slow shutters and achieving different colors and silhouettes and working in different lighting and all that kind of stuff. I think it all plays into what you do every time you pick up a camera. So I mean, shooting on the iPhone is no different. Picking that up, you're dealing with all the same elements, all the same lighting that you would with an SLR or a 5D or an old Mamiya film camera or something like that. I mean.
So did you start out as far as when you're transitioning into the digital world? You said you've been shooting for a couple years prior. I mean, were you shooting with digital? Were you shooting with film? What was your other background within photography before you really started getting into mobile phone photography?
I started with film actually. In college, I did a film class and started just shooting on a 35mm SLR. Started shooting film, and that's where I started, I guess, with photography. I mean, I've always had a camera, an old Polaroid camera or something like that. But yeah, just doing 35mm film really. And then I got a digital camera probably 3 or 4 years ago and started doing a lot of digital photography as well. So now it's just kind of a mix between digital photography, film photography. I love both of them for different reasons. I mean, obviously both of them have certain advantages that the others don't. And then yeah, throwing the phone camera into the mix here about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
When you're selecting images, I mean, what kind of goes into that process as far as, I mean, is it something that is just solely for you? Is it something that you're more catering towards your followers? Or what's the process that you use in order to select images and create what you've created?
That's a good question. I don't know, I think anytime you're putting your photo out in front of somebody else to see, you're always kind of faced with that question of you know, are you putting it out there because like you're just like deeply passionate about this photo that you've taken, and you know you just have to get it out there, or is it something you're wanting to share with others and see or get feedback, or you know, I'm sure there's people out there that post, you know, just for other people, and there's people that, you know, post and don't care what anybody else says. I of course always want to put out a quality photo. Like anything that I'm creating, I want it to be associated with something that I care about and that I feel is quality and I feel is good. But definitely when I'm posting, I try not to worry about what everybody else is thinking or what anybody else is gonna like. And sure, like there's stuff that I post that, you know, might not get as good of response as things. Like some things, like people will comment and I'll get a lot of positive feedback, and sometimes it's just, you know, nothing. Like I think everybody goes through that. Yeah. Hopefully I'm not the only one that doesn't get any any positive response.
Well, awesome. We're gonna go out. We have a couple other photographers that you brought along with you. We have a couple people here, also locally in Boise, that are more than happy to come shoot with you. We're gonna kind of go explore around and put you to the test. See if you can see if you can perform. You know, we'll see.
All right, so we're here in like an old abandoned building, something. I don't even know what it is. Normally, when I'm in a place like this, I try and, before I even bust out a camera, I try and kind of get a feel for the surroundings and just kind of see what's going on and kind of get a feel for the vibe of the place. So this place is awesome because it's just a huge, big open place with cool, like strong directional lighting, cool windows. I don't know, like when I come in a place like this, first thing I start seeing is that it's got awesome lines, like cool lines and kind of like that kind of thing. Those kind of things turn out really well. It's like, especially in an iPhone picture, like a small, in a small format, especially if you're gonna be posting like Instagram, things with strong lines, strong directional elements, cool directional lighting, that kind of thing is awesome. So I don't know, once I get a feel for that and kind of see what's going on around, I just bust out the phone and just kind of take a quick stab at it, you know, just do a couple shots, move around. In a place like this too, it's kind of fun because it has cool architectural elements that are really fun, but then you can start working in, like if you're with a group of friends or shooting with models or whatever you want to do, there's a lot of opportunities to kind of place these people in this big structure that could be really cool. So we'll do that. I'll probably take a couple just fun architectural type ones, kind of get you know, bring in the vibe of the place, and then we'll grab a couple people that we're hanging out with here today and see if we can get some cool people shots, some cool silhouettes and windows and that kind of thing. So this is all evidenced.
I decided if I want to do this or not. This looks very questionable.
Yeah, just for fun. go in this other room. As you'll see here in this kind of place where there's a lot of really kind of crazy strong lighting, like you'll have dark areas and then super strong lighting, and it's going to be a pretty tricky lighting situation. With Camera Plus, it's really great to be able to set your focus point wherever you want it, and then just like the touch of another finger, you can also control your exposure here and move that around. So if I want to expose for my shadows, I can bring it up into a shadow area, and it's gonna adjust the shutter speed and the apertures. You know, it kind of chooses that for you. You don't have much control of what it's choosing there, but it's gonna choose that kind of automatically the best exposure and shutter speed and aperture for you by moving it, you know, into your shadow area. Or if I want to really keep a lot of detail in my highlights there, I can just bring that kind of exposure dial down here into a light area and retain a lot more. Because I want to kind of get both in this, I'm just going to bring it up to kind of a middle shade there. And then really where we're shooting something far away, it doesn't matter where I set my focus point. So this is kind of cool because we get all those strong lines from the ceiling in, the cool windows, you know, and then just grab a picture of that. Yeah, the shots that just kind of like creep up on you when you're in between shots and you like turn around and somebody's doing something awesome, or you might turn around and lights coming through something really cool. Like those always end up being my favorite shots, I think, just because their moments just happen so naturally. Yeah, and then so we've got this one here too with the checkered floor. We were down below and we're like, yeah, cool checkered floor, it looks awesome. But from a higher vantage point, it looks really cool. It kind of becomes like a little graphic element. So. I kind of view shooting photos on your phone as almost like journal entries, kind of, because it's so easy. Like everywhere you go and everything you're doing, like you have that access, like that quick access. You know, there's kind of the old saying, like the best camera is the one you have on you. And that's just one. I mean, you always have your phone on you, so like it's so easy, like no matter what you're doing, whether it's interesting or not, like if you want to remember that or document that, or you see something cool, like you see something that catches your eye, you can just, you know, bust that camera out and take a picture really quickly. So there's a few places, you know, that make it really easy to do that, and I think Facebook's one, Instagram's one. Visco Grid, I think, has a lot of potential. I just started posting pictures to that a few months ago. I try and keep it pretty simple. I try and really just focus on getting a good photo from the start, and maybe adding a few things like you know, just tweaking a few elements to kind of get the photo, to push the photo to where I want it to go. Like with digital photography, everything you see around you, it doesn't always translate exactly how you're seeing it or experiencing it on the digital sensor. And so sometimes you have to make a few modifications. And there's some really good apps for that. Camera Plus is my go-to. It just has a lot of control within the camera. You can control your focus points, you know, what you want to focus on, and you can also control your exposure independent of your focus point. Visco Cam's a great one. That's probably the next app I'm most dependent on. It has a great camera built in, and then it has a ton of filters you can add. And the great thing about their filters is a lot of them aren't very heavy-handed. They add just like a nice enhancement to your colors. They're good at handling, in nature photography, like they're good at handling blue skies and green trees and that kind of stuff. The big one I started when I really started making a lot of adjustments to my photos was Snapseed. There's a ton of control in that. I mean, you can go in and kind of fine-tune anything you want in there. Afterlight's another one. Cross-process is another kind of fun one. So I used to use like Hipstamatic all the time. I don't know, I think my biggest advice, and this is something I try and follow myself, is that, you know, like you don't always have to be looking for like the best moment or like the best shoot or the best subject matter. Like just have fun with it. Like break your camera out and take some pictures and like have a good time. And the more you do that, the more you learn what you like and what you don't like, and you kind of find your your little style within it. You know, I mean, it sounds silly because you're talking about a phone that has a camera in it, but that's probably the next thing is don't underestimate that. I mean, that's a camera that's really powerful. I mean, I'm sure if they would have had access to that quality of camera 200 years ago, I mean, people would have been blown away and been like, oh, this is incredible, but now we kind of take it for granted because it's so convenient. I mean, it's everywhere, everyone has access to it, and so we kind of think, oh, it's not that cool, it's not that big of a deal, but it really is. Like, it's a great camera. It's like, it's really powerful and it has a lot of capabilities, and I would just say don't underestimate like the camera that you have with you all the time, especially if that's your iPhone or any other, smartphone camera on you.
I really love iPhoneography because there's constraints on it. Like you can't, really it's all about composition and light, finding light. So I think it's really fun to put yourself in constraints and see what you can do with that. You can't really think about the exposure too much, or I mean you can't really change the aperture or shutter speed. It's all kind of done for you. So I think it's great if you're wanting to like improve your eye or focus on composition. I think that's like an amazing way to do it. Constrain yourself to just being able to use it for composition.
Lately I've just been doing squares on Instagram, which is also pretty cool because I never shoot square crops. I always shoot like cinematic 35mm crops, and squares have been an interesting challenge. They're kind of fun.
My name's Kyle White. I am a photographer, I guess. I shoot mainly film, but obviously iPhone a lot and digital as well sometimes. The area's pretty littered with great spots and great pockets of light, so that's all we're doing is hunting for light and seeing good shapes and hopefully catching some good stuff today.
So, Lance, are you a photographer?
No, most certainly not. I take snapshots. I never had any training, never even took a class, so I just have fun taking pictures where I go. And Ben was the one who berated me into trying Instagram, and so some of this is going on Instagram.
I'm loading a Hasselblad 500 with some 400 T-Max. Second time ever using it, so. Mainly I shoot digital, but because of my college classes, I've had to do quite a bit of film this semester, so I've really moved on to popularity of film, I guess that's kind of going on right now, but I'm actually really enjoying it. Black and white seems to be kind of my forte a little bit more. Seems to have a little bit more of storytelling than color for me, but it's what I'm enjoying right now. So,
what are your thoughts on like phone photography? How has it made things for the world, do you think?
I think it's a very good thing. For one, it's a public record of things we're doing with when our phones are with us, and I've had times where I've taken a lot of pictures on my phone and then something goes wrong, like the SD card craps out and you lose your pictures, right? So you throw it out on Instagram, and not only is it there to share with the world, but it's also, now if your phone falls in this puddle and dies forever, it's out there. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, iPhone photography is really fun. I think it's really amazing what the capabilities are, and as soon as Instagram started, it's a beautiful social media because it allows people to speak through photographs. So I think that's important because a lot of times people feel limited due to their equipment or whatnot, and they're like, well, I can't photograph because I don't have those nice cameras. But I think anytime people feel free to unleash their creativity visually, it's a beautiful thing for everyone. So that's why I like Instagram.
I think phones are great to be able to tell stories. They have that wider angle, and you're able to take shots that you wouldn't be able to take otherwise because it's so convenient. After the fact, you're able to edit and kind of put it black and white or put it however you want to kind of tell a better story. Then it gives you more flexibility to tell what you want to tell. So
shooting photography with my phone is actually kind of new as well. I just upgraded to the new iPhone, so it's a lot clearer, a lot more contrast, and a lot brighter screen. So. And a higher megapixel too, so a lot sharper images and stuff like that. So.
And do you Instagram?
Oh yeah, I Instagram. I've recently started to use that as to kind of get my work out a little bit more. So.
stillness of it all. Like I can take a picture of whatever strikes my fancy at the moment and throw it out there. People are free to ignore it or like it, you know, as seems best to them. So I've really enjoyed the element of it. It's, in fact, the only social media I really use. So.
Started shooting seriously like beginning of this year, sometime around February, so I haven't been doing it for too long. Just got a film camera not too long ago, so I've been toying around with that a lot. So just the availability, I guess you could say. Like, just when I don't have like my film camera on me or anything like that, it's the phone's just always available. Really easy to use. The apps are super easy to use. So just makes it easier, just more accessible and available. You have a take?
Not really. I'm not a photographer, but I like taking pictures and putting them on Instagram just because like it allows a connection with like my family overseas and my friends in other areas that I haven't seen for a long time and I don't get to talk to them. So to be able to have that is really cool and it makes it not as like pretentious. It makes it a lot easier for someone like me who's totally not a photographer to just feel good about snapping a shot of my life, putting it out there.
Heck yeah, good commentary.
When we first walked in, I just saw light. I just saw pockets in these corners here where the light's coming in and shapes. A lot of interesting shapes in the open space as well. And just figuring out where I'm going to put someone and how the light's going to hit them and then how I'm going to adjust on my phone or on my camera to capture that well.
Thanks for your thoughts.
Absolutely.
Get some good shots there.
All right, I'll do my best.
You getting some good shots in here?
Oh yeah, there's some great light coming in here. It's super interesting, and if you can't get a good shot in here, you need to reconsider some stuff.
Cool, thanks. Have fun. Get some good shots with that Mamiya or Hasselblad, right?
Hasselblad, yeah.
Let me get that. Yeah, how long have you had this bad boy?
Well, I've been renting it for a week, so and sadly, like I've only used it once. So, and that was on Friday. So.
Well, hopefully you get some good opportunities here to use it up.
Oh yeah, today. Yeah, great lighting. Digging it. So.
My brother, man, he's crazy, man. He, I don't know. I guess that's where I get all my inspiration. I guess you could say like motivation to do stuff. Like, I don't know. I always have to run stuff past Chad, and I always ask his opinion on everything. I'm sure it gets really annoying and stuff. He's just, I don't know. He's like my mentor, I guess you could say, for like pretty much everything. So. That's awesome. Those are really cool, kind words. What about his photography inspires you? Chad just has a way of seeing things, just like whether it's angles or lighting or composition or concept or anything like that. Chad just has a way of seeing things that no one else sees it that way, and it's always been that way. Like always growing up, like before he was doing like painting and he's still doing graphic design and just anything like that. He just has a way of looking at things that I don't think a lot of people look at it the same way. He just has a good eye for everything.
Yeah, let's try something right here. Kyle, do you want to jump in a shot? Try standing up there in that windowsill. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that better. With just some trees in the background. Let's have you look that way, just so we can get like a little bit of profile and tell your person a little bit more. And then I'll usually take a couple of different types of exposures, maybe a little bit different angle. And that way, later on when I'm going to edit, I'm putting some effects on it. I can try out a couple different things. I mean, that's kind of the privilege we have with the iPhone and having something digitally, is we can afford to take a few different things, and then decide later, you know, what we like. Sometimes, you know, you see the exact shot you want, and it's all right there in front of you, and there's no guessing. But later on, sometimes you might want some different options on certain elements. So yeah, I took a couple of that one. It's pretty cool. You're done. Oh, sorry, you might need to be in one.
I think I could do that.
Can I do one of you?
Yeah.
Maybe about in front of this. We'll use this window light right here. And if you want to just look down this way, I'll just have you kind of looking right down here.
Okay.
And let's do something interesting so it's not just like, I mean, I'm sure you do something cool already, but like maybe let's do something with just like legs straight and like just kind of crossed over like that. Yeah,
Okay,
I like
so
that.
like a girl thing.
Yeah, kind of a girl thing. We'll keep it a little feminine, kind of cool.
Were you shot?
Yeah, there's 100 people in my shot.
But has it even cracked the stage yet?
I know, I tried to.
Sometimes you got to get down to like at a low angle to really get some of the distractions or certain elements that you can't like. I'm putting the focus right on her, so I kind of like that. It's a cool shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me have you look straight out the window on that one too. Yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. And let's do one kind of a little moodier. I'll make it a little darker there.
Oh, it is.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Thanks. Oh, see, this is awesome.
This is pretty.
These are my favorite ones, is when I see these accidental shots. Let me have you look over to the right, if you would, just so I can get a little bit of... Yeah, cool. I can see the edge of your glasses right there. Perfect. Got it. You can use at least on the iPhone, you can use the volume plus button as the shutter. I think a lot of people already know about that. I mean, it's pretty standard, but it's something I think is really critical because it allows you to shoot more naturally, like you're shooting like a regular camera. Like it almost acts as like a more natural shutter release. When you're framing your subject, if you have all your composition just right, sometimes having to reach in here with this finger puts a lot of camera shake and a lot of awkwardness in the actual taking the picture process. But if you can get a good grip on your camera, whether you're shooting horizontally or vertically, just being able to push that button and not having to, you know, move your fingers around or kind of balance your hand around in an odd way allows you to like keep a really good steady grip on the camera, and like you can really keep all of your elements composed exactly how you want them without kind of throwing things off by hitting them like that. So I'm gonna just stand like right here and just like up against the wall. And another hole.
Check this.
Yep, perfect. I don't like this one because like the light is amazing right here, and it's one of the rare places in here that has like a cool isolated wall that doesn't have windows or anything on it. Let's have you look out the window just a tiny bit more. I'm gonna wrestle the camera here. On this one, put your other foot down. Or you can have both of them down, just kind of like more, yeah, just more like kind of sinking into the wall, just more casual. You know, because again, that's what we do, is come hang out casually in old buildings.
Oh yeah, cool. All right, I'm a wrap at this place.
Yeah, I'm ready for some more carefree shooting on the non-booby trapped level.
Do you want to go to the quarry or do you just want to stay here?
I think we should go to the quarry.
Quarry?
Yeah.
That sounds rocking. What, dude?
That sounds rockin'.
I know, it's a good one.
You do say the cheesiest things.
Sometimes just a good over-the-top fun is like
straight
That's
up.
absolutely
rocking,
necessary.
yeah.
There's nothing else to say.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're at a crazy mine, like rocks and crazy huge rock walls and stuff everywhere. It's pretty awesome. This is one of those times where it's like you don't know where to begin, you know? So I guess we'll just go walk around and see if we can find some cool angles or something. I don't know. Let's go.
What are they digging for here?
Otherwise they just boot you down. Sandstone. What the penitentiary's built out of.
Dang, dude, will you give us a history tour?
I just did. This concludes the tour. Everyone jump.
We are being Instagrammed as we speak. An Instagram on the Instagram
14 people
episode.
died today for Instagram.
The one survivor. Like, I told you guys not to jump. I knew it was a stupid idea.
Ben's like, you guys are all idiots.
Oh, I missed it too.
iPhone fail.
Hashtag fuck you.
Sarah, see, this is one of those shops. You just know. Will you stay up just like letting the breeze do its thing? Walk down to that.
We can go wherever.
Kind of close to that.
Yeah, we can go down the trails.
Looks too much like an egg.
Okay, so we're up here on this cool ridge over here on the mountain. You can totally see the horizon. I mean, you can just see super far from the distance. This is, for me, kind of one of those ideal I don't know, iPhone type situations, because the iPhone has, I think, somewhere between, depending on if you have the 5 or the 4 series, it has somewhere between like a 24 to 28 millimeter equivalent angle of view. And so having that huge expanse really is awesome when you're up here and you can just see like horizon lines and all this depth. You can gather in all this sky and stuff like that. So I love doing, I don't know, just kind of shots either with people or just regular shots where you can really get kind of a sense of how like huge and grand the horizon is out there. Being out here kind of in the west where you can get up on mountains is really cool. So I just put my buddy up there and gonna have him kind of standing. It's a really cool way of just like being able to take a person and really isolate them against, I mean, they've just got the sky behind them, so you can really get a cool portrait and do a lot of fun stuff. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Dude, I actually got him. Yeah, so I mean, you might as well, like when you have the opportunity to have somebody up here on a cool horizon line like that, and you have them silhouetted against it. I mean, just have fun with it, do some cool stuff. So I always like these kind of shots. Go that way, but don't, like, seriously, don't get too close.
Out of solar strengths in its natural environment.
Hashtag.
Just say.
You're gonna freeze Ben. Just hashtag.
Hashtag.
Okay.
Just say like go. Just say something like photos.
Just
Let's all say something really awkward.
Wait, what are we saying?
Just
1, 2, 3.
I'm Chad Kais. I'm an iPhone photographer, and I've just been framed.